Good afternoon, YouTube. Today I found this wonderful interview with Maxime Bernier on Rebel News, describing the true characteristics of new conservative leader Erin O'Toole. Now, speaking only for myself, I don't know much about Erin O'Toole. I do know that he placed third in a leadership race between Scheer and Bernier and himself. And then he's been in the Conservative Party for quite some time, even serving under Stephen Harper, and he was a war veteran. But I don't know much about the man himself. Maxime Bernier in this interview will concisely explain what kind of person he is, and I really have no reason to doubt him because it seems that Maxime left that party on personal value, integrity, and purest conservative ideals. So I invite you to watch. Thank you for watching.
After the election of Erin O'Toole, because the real Erin O'Toole is a progressive conservative, red Tory, and out west, I understand the challenges that you're having, and he doesn't have the answer for that.
So in the past, when you resigned from the Conservative Party, you said you did so because the party has become too intellectually and morally corrupt. Do you think that's going to change at all with the O'Toole leadership?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a proof that it's real. When I was campaigning for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada in 2017, Erin O'Toole was a candidate. And at that time, that was the real Erin O'Toole. The red Tory Erin O'Toole, the progressive conservative Erin O'Toole, and he didn't have any bold policies, any ideas. And for this campaign for the leadership of the Conservative Party, Erin O'Toole put a mask on, saying that it's a blue conservative. But people will realize soon that the mask will fall, and will know the real Erin O'Toole, the one that is a centrist and globalist. Actually, early Monday morning, when he delivered his speech, he said in this speech that he wants to have support and votes from centrist liberals and NDPs. And he didn't say anything about the alienation of Western Canadians. I didn't speak about that. Didn't speak about solving the deficit and the debts that we have, being sure that we'll be able to build a pipeline in this country by using the Constitution, the Article 9210, and impose a pipeline for being sure that it would serve the interests of all Canadians. That was not in his platform, so it was only a buzzword to be able to win the leadership. And his goal was to have the support of less well-known candidates like Leslie Lewis and Derek Sloan. So I think these supporters, people who voted for Leslie or Derek, they will be disappointed, and that will come soon. Because Erin is not a real true blue or a real fiscal conservative. He's a globalist. He wants to actually sign the Paris Accord and impose more regulations and tax for fighting against climate change. He believes in climate alarmism. So all these people will be disappointed.
So who then do you think was more deserving to win the CPC race?
We didn't have any conservative. I think right now I'm the only conservative in this country. Being a conservative, it is fighting for your values. That's what I'm doing with real conservative values, individual freedom and personal responsibility, respect and fairness. And that's our platform at the People's Party of Canada. We want to be sure that we'll tackle the deficit, we'll cut the CBC, we'll do the reforms, that needs to be done to be sure to have a freer and a more prosperous country. And we will fight for all Canadians, and we won't pander to any special interest group. But the Conservative Party of Canada, like I said when I resigned, is actually intellectually and morally corrupt. And the example of that is the way that they're doing politics. They try to please everybody. They are pandering to special interest groups. They just want to be in government without any values or strong ideas. And what Mr. O'Toole said after his leadership is his goal is to have more support from the left. So the party now is a central left political party. We are the only conservative or right-wing political party in Canada. And so, that's why there's a huge opportunity for us at the People's Party. We will be able to have more support for these from these conservatives that are disappointed.
So, with the last run of the election, we saw Andrew Scheer marginalize his rivals. Do you think we're going to see a repeat of that with O'Toole and Derek Sloan, for example?
Absolutely. Derek Sloan had a good platform, and I think he took a lot of our ideas that I put forward during the leadership in 2000, during my run for the leadership in 2017. But, I tried to, when I was a conservative, to be sure that our conservative values would be part of the platform for the next election. And Andrew Scheer at that time said, no, these ideas are too extreme. And that would be the same thing with Derek. They want to be able to please people in Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, so to gain more votes, and they won't be conservative anymore. And I think Derek will be disappointed personally.
So you said earlier in this interview that you're the only conservative, but you're mentioning Sloan as though he's a conservative. So is it true that you don't think Derek Sloan was running the race with conservative values, or Dr. Leslyn Lewis?
Yeah, Derek, absolutely. I must say that Derek had a real conservative platform. Actually, you're right. That's why I'm saying he will be disappointed, that because O'Toole and the establishment of the Conservative Party of Canada won't take any of his ideas like they did to me in the past. So I think he's wasting his time with the Conservative right now. Like I said, he is welcome, and all his supporters are welcome in our party. We won't change. We have the same platform, and we're doing politics differently based on principles and without any compromise with our principles. And we have the courage of our conviction. We're not trying to please everybody. We are saying what is important for the future of this country. And our goal is to continue to fight for freedom, and also fighting for keeping our national sovereignty and not giving any of our power to the UN or another organization like the World Health Organization. We need to have our policies that are approved and written in Canada by Canadians, member of parliament, not by the UN, like the Migration Compact. And that's another example. O'Toole is for the Migration Compact, is for the Paris Accord. He wants to, on foreign aid, is like the Liberals. I don't see any difference. He said during his campaign that it would be good to give foreign aid to Saudi Arabia. So why? They're a rich country. We must cut foreign aid and help Canadians first. That's part of our proposal.
Let's talk about your Twitter, your tweet. Yeah. Your congratulations to Erin O'Toole after winning was quite comedic, I would say, in some ways. His face was completely red. He said, "Congratulations to Erin O'Toole, new leader of the Liberal Light Party." Can you explain that tweet?
It's like I just said, if you look at the policy, what is important for Canadians? The equalization is important. The equalization formula is unfair for every province, Quebec and Alberta and BC. He doesn't want to touch that. He doesn't want to change the equalization formula for being less generous, and we need a new formula that would be fair for everybody. So that's the same position than the Liberals on the equalization. And he is like the Liberals on Western alienation. He doesn't want to tackle that. People out west want to be sure that they will be able to build the pipelines. And he has the same platform of the Liberals on that. He won't use the Constitution to impose, and I'm using the word impose a pipeline on provinces that don't want any pipeline because it's too important for the unity and the prosperity of our country. So that's like the Liberals on cutting, subsidies to businesses. It's not fair to tax a small business entrepreneur in Vancouver and forcing him to pay tax and giving that to Bombardier or GM. We must cut subsidies to businesses, no more corporate welfare. And O'Toole has the same policy than Justin Trudeau on that. So I can go on and go on policies. They're the same. That's why I'm saying, they're liberal. It's the Conservative Party of Canada right now. It's a liberal light party, and I like to call them also the LibCon party, liberal conservative all together, because they have the same, and also they're doing politics. They're doing politics by pandering to different special interest group. And Erin O'Toole also believed that in Canada we have a systemic racism. I don't believe that, and I think it's an insult to Canadians. So like Justin Trudeau, and that's why I think that tweet was a very good one.
So, if you don't believe in systemic racism, what's your stance on the defund the police movement happening in Canada right now?
We must do the opposite. We must give all the resources that they need. That we must do the opposite, and that's our position. I think it's clear. The role of a government, first of all, is to give security to Canadians. And the security, if you want to live in a free and prosperous country, first of all, you need to be able to live in a country that will take care of your security. I think it's the first job of a government, and that's why we must give more money to our forces and also our police all across the country. It's something that O'Toole won't speak. It is also like Justin Trudeau. It's all about political correctness. For them, we have to please everybody and pay attention to everything that we're saying. But at the end, they don't have the courage to solve the challenges that we are having in this country. And I think people, like I said, in a couple of days or months from now, conservatives across the country would be very disappointed. They will see the real Erin O'Toole.
Now, you say over the next couple of months, we'll see disappointed people from the Conservative Party. But according to the Conservative Party, they had a record amount of members actually vote with them this time around. So what is the PPC's membership looking like right now?
Our membership, when we created that party a year ago, we had the election at the same year. So, and we were able to have 1.6% of the votes. We did better than the Green Party. It took 20 years and 6 elections for the Green Party to have more than 1.6% of the votes. We did that in 1 year, in our first year. So we made history, and we had a surplus at the end of last year, about $500,000. The Green, the Bloc Québécois, Liberals, they all had deficit. So we have money in bank. We'll be ready for the next election. And about our membership, last year we had about 30,000 members. So for a new party, it's a lot, and that will grow. I can tell you that when the election will start, we will have candidates in every riding, and will be very competitive because we will fight for our country, for Canadians. We are the only party whose putting Canada first and Canadians first. And you just have to read our policies and people will understand what I mean by that.
So there's something that I want to add because I'm going to cut this video into two parts, just as an aside. I respect Maxime, and I know that he's doing his best to stay on the path that's to form a new great party devoted to conservative principles. The trouble is, we're out of time. He needed at least 10 years to build up a reputation for a party like that so that they could fall back on that party or even split the conservative vote at this time. Do you know what I mean? They would be they are the new Reform Party, you could say, or the re-emerging Reform Party. I'll just say this. Maxime probably will not get enough support to be a legitimate threat in this race. The Conservative Party, watered down and diluted and corrupted and weak as they are in principle or in value, because what I hear here in this speech from Maxime is really, really disturbing to me. Because he's a conservative purist, you could say. And O'Toole is well, if you want to believe his claim, is not a conservative at all. He's more like a liberal centrist. So, that aside, I don't see people voting for the party itself. I see people voting for Maxime as leader. And it's not good enough. You have to have people of reputation, people of experience, people that people recognize to vote for, and that have the reputation and the background. That, you know, it's sad because it takes time for people to look at the situation and deem, okay, this party has a chance to win. I love the People's Party of Canada, and I wish them every success because that's what needs to happen. But it takes time. It's time we don't have. If a confidence vote was called by the Conservative Party and another party in the next 4 months, Maxime, even though he put his hat in, he probably would achieve only a few seats, but not total victory. Impossible. I keep going back to Preston Manning. Preston Manning really worked hard for years to build up the Reform Party, the Canadian Alliance, just to see it fall and merge, essentially. And my feeling is that the Conservative Party has diluted its members enough that the original Alliance members are no more. They either retired or they quit, or they're fading into obscurity or whatever. And nothing made me more happy than when McKay was defeated, because you know that tendency that the media and everybody else tries to tell you, you know, this is the candidate to vote for, like with Hillary Clinton, is exactly like that. And I'm happy that he got slapped in his face with O'Toole. But now after hearing this, I'm not sure O'Toole is any better. He might have been better at hiding it, perhaps. So thank you for watching. I will post the part 2 right after I post this one. Thank you.